Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here's your 15 seconds or so teaser of what's happening today. Right, time to tell you the whole story. So, let's start as we intend to go on. Okay, now, Triang, which later became Triang Hornby, their Battlespace series was very popular and successful, especially for the first 2 years. It started around about the mid-60s until the stocks eventually dwindled out in the early 70s. But as I say, for the first 2 years, very popular. I'm going to take each item in section, talk you through them and show them to you as well. So here we go. And first up, the Khaki Jinty, Class 3F. It's the one that Triang Hornby chose to use in the khaki colour for the Battlespace series. And it's still actually got the original number stamped in the bodywork underneath of R52, which of course was or is the Black Jinty. But this one actually has got a separate number, 588, R588. So that is the Battlespace Jinty. Now, I've had a look on YouTube and there's very little on the Battlespace stuff on there. I've actually featured some of the Battlespace stuff a couple of years back, and at the time of doing so I didn't actually have everything, and I also featured, I would actually class it as being in like 3 sections, and I didn't feature all the 3 sections in the one video, but we are going to do that today. Now, as I just said, there's not a lot of the Battlespace stuff on YouTube, but I'm going to feature absolutely everything. As I say, I don't think that's ever been done, so I'm going to feature absolutely everything. But to enable me to do that, I have to use not one, but 2 of the Battlespace Jinties, because one, particularly the fact that although these have got magnesium, we're on nickel track, again P.O.W track, so they've not got a lot of grip and there's no tyres or anything on them. So we're using 2 to pull the whole lot around, and we'll just take each section in turn. First item up, this is R568, this is the Assult tank transporter, which is basically on a low loader wagon, and the tank itself is from the Mini Motorway series. So I'll just take the tank off, show you. I have changed all the wheels for metal wheels. So there's some that I haven't done yet, but I'll talk you through those as we go along. So you can see there they've been changed. So I'll just plonk that on there. I'll put it back properly in a minute. And I've actually put a couple of bits of blue tack on the back there to hold the rockets pointing upwards, because if they're pointing downwards they fall off, and I don't want to be gluing them on, obviously that would be silly. All the little soldiers, I've stuck them on the blue tack, because obviously I will remove those when I pack everything away and they go back in a box. Now, I know a lot of you are going to want to see these Triang gadgets work as well. Well, there's no way I'm going to try and follow a rocket with the camera, it'd just be a blur, but here we go. You want to see it go? Bang, there's one. Here's the other. So there it is, R568, the Assult tank transporter. Well, that's first one coupled up to the 2 Jinties, so we now move on to this one. Now this is R631, this is the Battlespace crane, basically used for lifting the tanks off, I would imagine. But yeah, and another guy there stuck on there with a bit of blue tack again. He's on the radio by the looks of it. So there we go, number 901 on the back, and that's in perfect mint condition. In fact, all of it is. As I say, that's our 961. Let's say 961. No, 631. Sorry, I'm having to glance at my paperwork here because I can't remember them all the way through. R631. There we go. That's the Battlespace crane. Alright, that's coupled up now along with the other stuff. I did forget to tell you the wheels have been on this one, but I will just very quickly point those out as we go along. Right, next one. Right, here we go. Now this is the Battlespace Rescue Flying Helicopter Wagon. There you go, again, get some different look at it. Now, they're not terribly hard to find, these aren't. You can see the new wheels, of course, much better there with the new metal wheels on. They're not terribly hard to find, they're not out there in abundance, but when you do find them, there's often broken parts, and especially more than anything is that tail fin there on the top at the back of the helicopter. Now I know you guys are going to want to see it fly. Again, I'm not going to try and follow it with the camera because I don't know, I wouldn't be able to keep up with it, but I have another helicopter which is not in quite as good condition. It's slightly warped, and I'm prepared to show you work with that one but not with this one, so just stay with me for a couple of minutes, well, a couple of seconds, you know what I mean. Right, okay, here you'll see a white, well, off-white helicopter. This one is also in very good condition. It's got the tail fin there, and I've realised something which I'll point out to you in a minute. This one is slightly bowed at the back end. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I'll try and get it right for you. Yeah, it's got a slightly bowed low. You can see it there now, look. But this helicopter belongs to another helicopter car, which is part of a rescue set, so I don't want to use that one, but what I am going to do is I'll use that one, which has got the top of the tail fin broken off there, look, just there. That's a yellow one, of course. Right, now the thing is, now I've wound it up. You wind it up with this mechanism here, keep winding that up, and it puts this trip lever in the out position there, as you can see. So what we're going to do is get the helicopter and place it on there. If I can get my hands right. Yeah, I think that's right. I think it's on, yeah, I think that's on. And then what happens is you have a track side lever, which I can't fit because my track is actually too close to the wood here at the end. But I'm going to get this, try and get this in the camera for you, and hopefully when I trip that lever, that helicopter should disappear. So here goes nothing. Oh, hang on, is it that way? No, it's not that way. Try again, hang on. I think I'm knocking the car. There we go. Whoa! It went then. Brilliant. Okay, back in a tick. Yeah, well, that helicopter went outside the room and ended up near the top of the stairs, so quite a distance it went, really. Anyway, I put the minute one back on there, and it's coupled up with everything else. So now we move on to this one, which is our we'll get it right, 216. Yes, it's our 216. Right, this is obviously a rocket launcher. It's again in perfect condition, as you can see. Pretty cool. I've already enabled it, ready to fire, because I know you're all wanting to see how all of this lot works. So there we go. That's the rocket launcher with new wheels fitted. Whoops, nearly. I do that every time when I'm trying to look at the camera. Okay, if I can get my hand round there, stay with me. I can get that. Are you ready? Oh yes. Whoa, it's gone right over the top of the stairs as well. Brilliant. R216, the rocket launcher. Back in another tick. Well, up to now you've seen the first 4 of the rolling stock items, which of course that one, and that one, that one, and that one. Now all 4 of those have got the twin bogies and 2 axles on each bogie, and I say all the wheels have already been changed on them all anyway. Now I'm going to move the whole train up a little, just to get her out the way a little bit. So there's fine. Well, we'll bring the next one in. Okay, there we go. We're now moving on to 5 much longer rolling stock items of the Battlespace. Now this is R341. This is the Searchlight wagon, and it's again in perfect condition, as you can see. There you go, and you'll see the searchlight is on. And a few things to tell you about this. Okay, first of all, the most delicate parts on these are of course the antenna. Now that's an original one, that's a genuine original one, and so is the chimney. They're almost always broken in both cases. Now what I've also done with this, I'm just going to very carefully, as I don't want to break anything here, tip it over onto a side, and you'll see now the metal wheels. They are the original ones which are picking up for the Searchlight. You've got 2 there, and you've got the opposite 2 there. Now I would love to get my hands on some more of these wheels, because I can tell you now they're so smooth, they run great. I have actually got a few, but I'll spread them out across the train. I'll explain that as we go along. The thing is, I can change all these wheels for the new modern Hornby 12.6mm ones, but the problem is they will need bearings putting in, and it's a much more tricky job on this to do these. So what I've done, I've stripped everything off, everything's been cleaned and oiled, I've got them running as best as you possibly could without replacing them for modern wheels and wheel bearings, which I will do not too long from now. So just carefully pick them back up. A couple more things to point out to you. Now, if I can just get her on the track, just bear with me. Come on, that's it, there's got that one on, and we're on that end, are we? Hang on, that's better. Now, you can see, like I say, the searchlight's on. Again, originally it had a bulb, a 12-volt bulb, and like all older model railway stuff, what happens is, unless you've got it going around the track at quite a speed, the bulb's not bright enough. So it's a little bit of a defeatist object. I've changed the bulb with this for a bluey white LED, which comes on instantly. I mean, like now, at the moment, it's on, but the controls turn to 0, which is never quite 0. If I just turn the controller off, I've got a cap in there, capacitor, which keeps it lit up, so we've got no flicker, and it's actually turned off now, and as you'll see, it's slowly going to die down. Now, if you do change these for an LED, there's something I want to point out to you. I'll get my screwdriver, I'll show you. Right, you'll notice there that there's 2 wires. It's very fine twisted wires. I've used a red and a white, obviously it doesn't matter what colour you use, but it's very soft and very easy to work with, and I've taken those and I've soldered them directly to the LED, and I brought them to pair of wires down and underneath the middle section here is the rectifier, so it goes in both directions, and the cap which allows it to stay lit up. I mean, it's still slightly glowing, look, and if I turn the power back on now, bang, it's straight up, look. Now, on the original one, there's only one wire going to the bulb, because it uses the metal case of the lamp itself along with those rivets each side there onto this bracket, and the second wire is soldered underneath to that bracket. Not a very reliable way of doing it, because you're relying on those 2 little rivets there, because obviously the lamp swings up and down. It also goes round side to side, so you're looking at a lot of problems with, especially when they get older, that the lamp flickers or doesn't come on at all. So do away with that ground wire onto the metal casement, solder the wires directly onto your LED, and bring a pair of wires down to your supply, and that's it. So there's 341. That's the Searchlight wagon. And like the Searchlight wagon, we're on to another one, which I did forget to point out. There's actually 3 axles at each end on each bogie on these longer ones, so that's the same as the Searchlight wagon. And now this is R343. This is the 4 rocket launcher, as you can see there, along with the stash of 4 spare rockets just there. Yeah, cool. Now, I was telling you about the antenna here, which is almost always broken and missing, and fairly often the chimney too. I found a place accidentally on the internet, a guy named James, who actually makes replicas of a lot of Triang items that do get broken and missing quite easily, which includes the antenna and the chimney, and those 2 there are 2 of his products. And I was really glad to find him, because I was short of 1 or 2 odd little bits like that. I will put his contact details in the description box at the bottom, because he's got a few items for the Battlespace series, and it's cool to know you can get them from there. So, one more thing then on this one. I know you want to see it go again, so come on, you have to load it and then you press these red buttons. So I'll do 1 at a time. God knows where they're going to go, probably out onto the top of the stairs again. So here we go, look, come on, all 4, 1 at a time. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was wicked. 343, the 4 rocket launcher. This time we've got something what could possibly be termed as another R341, because the base, the 12-wheel twin axle frame chassis, is exactly the same as the Searchlight one, but without this piece in the middle. And I'll tell you how this came about. It's not a fully genuine Battlespace item, but a year or so ago I was on eBay and I spotted this listed as a Battlespace item. I knew it wasn't. Obviously the base section, the actual wagon, the trestle wagon is right, like I say, it would be 341, but the Searchlight section had been removed, and somebody had put this Hovercraft on and called it a Battlespace item. Now, initially I thought, oh, that's not right, but then I looked at it closely and I thought, well, it looks okay. You know, it did look good, and the colours pretty much smack on, and so I bought it. I think I paid $4.99 for it, so it's like nothing. But when I came to try it, there was a problem when it's going around the track, and what that problem was is the width of the hovercraft here on the two rubbered sides here was just a little bit too wide, that on certain corners it would catch on the locomotive on the adjacent line. And I thought, oh, what a shame, I can't use it after all. But then I came up with an idea, and I had a word with my dear good friend Bob what my idea was, and he said he thinks he could do it. And what we did, we took the measurements of the tank, which is over there behind the signal. We took the width of the tank, and we knew that was our maximum width we could work to. And Bob very kindly but very accurately ground down the sides so that it didn't equal the same width as the tank. Then he painted it black, because obviously we've lost a bit of the tiring, which I know is a shame, but it's not the end of the world. And I've got spare Battlespace stickers, so I stuck one on each side. I used the hot melt gun to glue it on, and I think it looks okay. So there's a bit of an extra one, which is why I put in the title everything plus more, and there's a bit more coming as well a little later on in the video. So there you go, that's my Battlespace Hovercraft wagon. This one is R562, the plane launch car. I'll just show you around it briefly. This is another 12-wheeled, 6-axle twin bogie wagon. And again, I've done all the wheels and cleaned everything. Right, now there's a story behind this. Well, sort of a story behind it. This is obviously not how it comes, because it's supposed to launch a plane. And the plane is this. It's a horrible bit of cardboard with a, pretty thingy stuck on it. You're supposed to push that through this bit of plastic. It's got a bit of a weight on the front there, and that's your plane, what you get with it. Now I'll explain to you why I've not put this on. First of all, I think to call Triang cheap and nasty would be an insult, an absolute insult, because Triang, I believe, if not the first, there was certainly one of the first to do plastic moulding for model railway, where you get all the rivets and everything can be seen. If you look, you can see all the detail and everything. I mean, it's not like today's standard, of course it's not, but I'm sure they were one of the first to experiment using plastics for model trains. Now I think a better term, rather than cheap and nasty, which I say is an insult, I think a better term would be affordable and acceptable. But for me personally, Triang, I'm sorry, but when it comes to this thing, I'm sorry, I have to draw the line. Now, all this being the case, I was trying to think what I could do with the wagon. I wanted to feature it, obviously I wanted to use it, keep it as part of the collection, but I didn't want that on it. So I thought, right, there's got to be a way around this, I could do something with it. So I started looking on the internet. I took the measurements of this wing to wing and front to back, roughly to get a bit of a scale for it, and I found this on the internet for only about, I don't know, £6, £6, something like that, and the wingspan is actually about 5mm shorter than the paper one. So I thought, that's great, that can go on there, and I can take that round the layout with that, glue gun onto the top of that. Now the thing is, this is American, which was a bit of a shame, because it's not really that suitable, but for me it was still better than a piece of cardboard and a piece of plastic. However, when I put this on the first time to take it round the track, I realised that this design could never have been designed to go round the track on top of this. The reason being, the wingspan on this is slightly wider than that American model, and the model was catching on signals, walls, anything that was at the side of the track. So my gut feeling would be that when Triang devised this, it would simply be to have a track on the front room floor on the carpet with no obstacles around it, to be able to take that round the line. If not, all you could do would be put it on and fire it, and that would be the end of it. But you couldn't take it round the line with that on a proper layout with the adjacent lines spaced correctly. So with that being the case, I thought, no, I'll go a step further. So that's what I did. I bought a good old die-cast Spitfire, 176 scale. I got my dear friend Howard to cut the wings off it, because obviously that wouldn't go around the track. So we've done that. I've hot melt glue gunned it on, put a tarpaulin over it, and we've put the wings being carried in the back end there. And I think that's a lot better than going around with nothing on it, and or some stupid horrible paper playing with plastic. So sorry again, Triang, but that one was the limit for me. And bringing us to the last of the 5 12-wheel 6-axle type wagons, we've got this one, which is R239. I'm sure of that one actually. Yeah, it's R239. This is the bomb transporter, as you can obviously see. Nothing much else special about it. I don't think the bomb does anything. As far as I know, it doesn't do anything. It's just being carried. So here it is then, R239 bomb transporter. So I'm going to have a little bit of a break. I think it's nearly whiskey time. I'm going to go down and edit all these, what we've got on so far, onto the computer. Give me a break from holding this camera, and I'll be back with you when I've done that. So I won't be long. We're now moving back to the shorter length wagons, with still with twin bogies obviously, but we're back to the twin axles on each bogie. And of course from here on, again, all the wheels have been changed right to the end of the train now, so there's no point in mentioning that to you again. Right, okay then, where are we? 249, yes it is, I remember this one anyway. This is R249, this is the exploding wagon. This was also done in a red livery, but of course this is the proper Battlespace livery. Now, when I got this, somebody had tried to glue it together because it's supposed to explode and blow its roof and sides off. But fortunately it wasn't a very strong glue that used. I did manage to free it off and get it all off without any damage to the wagon whatsoever. So I've set the trigger ready. Now for some strange reason, the lever on the side, which is about here where it says the word lock, when I release it, it's not releasing the mechanism, so I will have to look into that, though it's not important at the moment. But I'll do it by getting hold of the lever underneath down there. So wait a minute. Right, okay, focus the camera, and can I get it? Can I get it? Oh. It made me jump. I hope you got that. It made me jump. Right, I'm going to do a second take on that because it made me jump, and I moved the camera, so I don't know what it comes out like, so I better do another take. So try again, hold still, John. You got that one alright anyway. Yeah, wicked. Now, what this used to do, as well as explode, it used to go with a bang, because you'll see here, if I get hold of the mechanism, see there, that there, under there, look, that you would have what we call a cap. Which is toy guns used to have a cap, a roll of caps that you could put in them. The idea is you would put a cap underneath that, and that would sort of go bang, as well as blow the sides and the roof off like that. Now I've just realised something. I made a mistake here. That lever on the side which locks it, that you're supposed to leave it locked until you're ready to use it, and it's not the side mounted unit that trips it. It's actually done from underneath on the something from the which you put in between on the track, if I remember rightly. So that was my mistake, but that's how it goes. So there you go, that's the explosive explosive car wagon, whatever. All cool stuff. Now guys, moving away from the exploding wagon here, we're going to move on to something really special now. So let me show you this. Right, this is Triang Hornby's R571. This is the G10Q car, and it is extremely sought after. A lot of people would give an arm and a leg to get hold of one of these, especially in this condition, with the original box as well, I might add. Now, there was only 2,700 of these made back in 1968, and they did it to try and boost the sales of the Battlespace series, because it was starting to dwindle by then. I think it helped a little bit for a while, but not enough for it to kick off and be as successful as it was the first time around when it all started in the mid-60s. Now 2,700, you might say to yourself, well, that's not that many, but when you think most other Triang items were made in the tens and twenties of thousands, then of course 2,700 makes this a pretty rare one. Now obviously I'm not going to tell you what I paid for it. It is worth a good fortune, absolutely. Now I do have a problem though. I want to show it your work, but I'm going to make myself out to be an idiot here, I'm sure I am, but I need some help with this because I can't fathom out how it works. You've got the trip lever here on the side, but I can't work out how it does anything. I really can't. Now I don't know now if there may be a spring missing or something, because I just can't fathom this one out. But maybe somebody out there, if you see this video, you can drop me a line, you know, PM message, and let me know how this is supposed to work. So the only thing I can do is take it apart and show you what it's supposed to do. It is actually based on the exploding car there. It's the same basic idea that it's going to explode, but this time what happens is the roof comes off, okay, and the sides fall down like so, and it reveals the twin red eye rocket launcher, and that spins round and points 90 degrees. This plunger here, I would imagine, is if I pull that up, it goes right up there, look, and that would be the item that would knock the roof off, and then the sides would fall away. But I cannot work out how that does that, because you can't get it off. It won't come off altogether. It's got to stop. It hits a stop there, but there's no spring to send it up. So maybe, just maybe, that has got a part missing. I would imagine it's something I could fix if I knew exactly how to do it. So, but what happens is, if I just carefully move the stuff out of the way, I don't want to damage anything on this, because it's so damn rare. I'll just turn it round carefully. Hopefully you're going to be able to see this. I'm just going to get it back on the track-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right, okay. Sorry I'm shaking the camera, I'm on my knees here. What happens is, if I take that up past this thing, if I can get it to do it, hang on, it's all falling apart here, hang on, oh no. Right, I'm sorry about that. I had to do this edit because I was getting it all right around me myself. It was all going wrong. Right, from what I can gather is supposed to happen is this plunger shoots up, hits the roof, blows the sides off, and then this spins round to this angle here, so the rockets could then be fired via those little one there. But for some strange reason I can't work out how this mechanism works, so please somebody tell me how to get this to work properly. One last point, and I did say I wouldn't mention the wheels to you again, and the reason I am doing so because I have changed these wheels on this for the beautiful metal, much smoother ones, but with this being such a valuable piece of kit, I've done them in such a way that they could easily be replaced. I've kept the original wheels which I could put back on it should I ever want to sell it, though I very much doubt that anyway. So there we go then, that's the extremely rare G10Q car. Moving on again, we're now onto something which is considerably easier to work out how it works. Yeah, so this is R639. This is the Battlespace Sniper Wagon. Now, if you saw my last video on the transcontinental stuff that I was running around, the Triang Transcon stuff, you probably saw the giraffe car, and this works on exactly the same principle, except we've got a little sniper there with his rifle. Come on camera, give me a good focus, there you go. And it's very simple, this mechanism. I'll briefly show you. We've got a piece of steel rail there in the track, which is super glued down. We've got a magnet assembly under there, like so, and if I just do this by hand, very clever, very simple, but watch, if I take that along, down it goes, and then it's released back up. So very simple, certainly more simple than the G10Q car. And if we do it again, and then you can see him, so we'll pop down and pop back up again. There you go. Voila. Okay, well, we'll just put that on the end of the train. There you go, onto the queue car, and we'll move on to the next one. And with just 3 to go to complete the whole set of absolutely everything, we've got this one, which is R630. This is the P.O.W. wagon, prisoner of war, if you didn't know what that meant. Again, mint condition, perfect. There's nothing really to tell you about it. I put a soldier inside there. He's looking after all the prisoners, so to speak. So there we go. That's very simple, straightforward. So we'll just put that carefully, hitch her up to there, and 2 to go. This time we're on R275, which is the command car. So just let you have a look at that. Battlespace command car. Now, the mould they used for this was the original mould for the transcontinental travelling post office, which does physically work as well, I might add. I'll show you that in a minute. Yeah, they did the transcontinental postal service. They did it in red for the red and silver single-ended diesel, and they did it in blue for the blue and yellow double-ended diesel. But they used the same mould for this, obviously using the khaki coloured plastic. Now, this does actually collect the mail. Oh, can I show you? No, that one, I can't pull that one down without the lever. It does collect the mail, and it does throw them out the other side as well. There's a drop down door on the other side, and it's controlled by the levers under there, as you can possibly just see those. Yep. Which I suppose one would assume this would be the mail for the soldiers, so to speak, but I can't actually get that to work because you have to have the thing plugged into the track at the side, or clipped into the track, sorry, to catch the mail bags and whatever. And again, I haven't got the room on the layout. It's got to be done on a straight piece, and I haven't got a straight piece with enough space behind it to be able to actually physically do that. But it picks the mail bag up and it throws it back out in a different place. It's as simple as that. Well, that too is clipped on the end of the train now, so I'll just move everything up a little bit because we're on the very last item. There's a bit of room there while I carefully bring this one in to the frame. Rolling nice on its new wheels. No, I'm not going to mention the wheels. Don't mention the wheel. Yeah, okay. This is R248. This is the Battlespace, what do they call it? Oh yeah, the Medical Corps ambulance car. Obviously it's not done in khaki, it's done obviously for obvious reasons. You got the Red Cross there on the sides, and again I believe the mould for this one was actually the transcontinental baggage wagon, which is the exact same mould, but that's it. Now, it's not that hard to find. There's usually one on eBay, but there's not many come up with that original sticker. It's a little bit black. It's got some marks on it, as you can see. It's a little bit dingy, but I'm not going to try and clean it because it's paper. But that's still the original sticker. Whereas quite often they are missing altogether. I've actually got 2 of these because they did use the ambulance car in another set called the rescue set, which is where I've told you about when I featured the helicopter wagon a bit earlier on in this video. They used an ambulance car and a helicopter, although not in khaki colour, not in the army colour, for that other set. But the other ambulance car I've got is actually had the cross painted on it, which is to be expected, but I'm not over fussed about it anyway. So there you go, guys, that's absolutely all of it. Now, I'm not doing a run round yet because we're not at the end yet. What we are is we're at the end of what I would call the first section. So what I'll do, oops, hang on, let's get that on. I thought I'd done that. Hang on, put it on the train. I thought I'd done that, I haven't. Right, okay, all I'm going to do simply is bring it round to here, to there. There you go. The 2 Jinties, and with that I think I'm going to call it a day for now. I'll get this loaded and edited and everything, and then tomorrow I'll finish off with 1, 2, 3, 4 more items, which is what I call the second part of the Battlespace and the third part of the Battlespace. Like I say, I call all the khaki stuff the first part, which is obviously the biggest amount. So just 4 more items to go. I'll do it tomorrow, and then of course I can upload it. So of course we'll have them running around as well, so then I can upload it. Alright then, so see you in a bit, bye. Hello again everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the filming of the whole of the Triang Hornby Battlespace series. Right, let me bring this one up. Just 4 items to show you, then I'll have everything running. But let me just bring this one up nice and steady. If I can control it carefully. There we go. Right. Triang's Battlespace Turbo Car R752. This is, everybody likes this. Now, this one is not in the best of condition. Let me explain. First of all, a brand new one, boxed, original, will fetch anything up to around about £300. Second-hand ones range from £50 to, you know, a couple of £100 if they're in mint condition, but second-hand. Now, this one, the body is mint. There's no markings on it or anything. But unfortunately, the stickers, as you can see, are not that clever. They're okay, but they don't go right to the end. You can see where it's come off. I think I paid about £45 for this one. Now, the nose spike, as you can see, is missing. Well, it wasn't missing, but it was very badly corroded. It was a rubber spike. It was very badly corroded, and so I just literally took it out. And what I've done for a bit of fun, I'll get around here and show you, I put in it a lovely yellow LED, which you'll see in a few minutes going round. Now you'll see that the windscreen sticker is in very good condition. That one's good, but there's a bumper sticker missing off the front, so I haven't got that, which is of course why I only paid about £45 for it. But it still runs, and it's fan driven with this. It's blown along with that fan, which is quite incredible. It amazes me how it stays on the track. I'm going to show you something else as well. Right here, look at this one. Now that one is a spare body that I've got. The body itself is quite scratched, but the side transfers are pretty good on it. Look, they're not bad at all, and it's got a perfect spike, but that's the plastic spike. Now, when they first came out and they used this plastic spike, a lot of complaints were being made to Triang that this plastic spike was poking kids in their eye, where they sort of put their head on the track and watch it come towards them, which is a very silly thing. So they ended up changing it for the rubber one, which, like I said, on mine has perished and has long gone. But I've got this spike I can put in it if I want to. These stickers, as I say, are really good, but it's not got the window sticker, and it's not got the bumper sticker, but what you can see is where it was. Now, this is interesting, because I have a friend who does replacement stickers for all sorts of things, and I've been in contact with him, and I'm going to send him this body, and he's going to see if he can recreate these stickers. And I think it'll do really well, because there's a lot of them out there which are not in very good condition. Replacement stickers would really bring a lot of them back to life. So simple as that. Now I'll just take around the line once, and then we've got just 3 items to go before we get everything running. Just a quick mention to you, as you know, I've called all the Khaki stuff, you know, sort of part 1, splitting it up, and then the turbo car, which is simply an item on its own. There's nothing you can put with it, it won't pull anything, and I've called that, you know, section 2, and section 3 will be coming in a minute, and I'll just say take it round like I said, just get it to move. Great how this works, and it's so simple, so effective. I'll just send it around. You can hear it. Oh dear. There we go, stopped it. Bring her back. Carefully. To there. Right. Give me a couple of ticks and we're on the homeward run. Well, we're here nearly at the end on the last 3 Battlespace items. This one is R756. This is the Battlespace 040 diesel shunter. In very, very good condition. This came in a set with the next 2 items, what you're going to see in a minute, and it was called the Satellite set. I don't think there was an R number for it, but that's the Loco. Very plain, very straightforward and simple, but that's what it is. So moving on to the next item. Give me a couple of secs. Next we've got this one, which is R567, the radar tracking command car. Now, I have 2 of these, and this is another one of the reasons why I put in the title, you know, Battlespace, everything and more, and I'll explain why there's 2 of these in a minute, but I thought I might show you a bit more around about this, because it's quite interesting. You'll see that if I just gently push that along, you'll see the antenna turns like that, and you'll see the light is coming on as well, like there. Now the thing is with this is back to that old story of the old 12-volt bulb again, because it's just not bright enough. It's so dull unless you've got it flying around the track at a stupid speed. So once again, I've taken it apart and changed the bulb for a nice warm white LED, which looked pretty cool. And like I say, it comes on straight away with the smallest amount of power, and so you've got a full brightness all the time. Now just very carefully, because these are very delicate, I'm going to show you the mechanism, or mechanism for want of a better word. It's on the two axles there, you'll see that there's the drive belt onto this drum in the middle there, and that of course is what turns the antenna on the top. Now sorry, scanner on the top, yeah. Now the reason I've got two of these is this: these also fetch a lot of money, pretty good money, and I found with quite a lot of the Triang stuff, and even other things as well, if you pick up yourself a couple of I wouldn't call them scrap, but spares for repair, because there's bits missing, you can actually make yourself a good one up. And I did that with these, and I ended up with 2 out of 3 that I actually made up out of 3 that I bought for really quite cheap, because there was bits missing. And the only thing I had to do on one of them, and I think it's this one, yeah, the aerial spike there and the scanner itself. I have got the other scanner, but it had a crack in it and it wasn't gripping very well. But again, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, James has those in stock, so I bought that off him, along, those 2 items off him, along with the other bits you saw earlier, and it gave me one of these back to life. So I've got 2. I put them opposite ends of the train, and yeah, opposite end, facing the opposite way as well. Oh yeah, something else to point out to you. If you see here, you see the ladder there. Now I put that on because it's really strange. There's 2 little holes there. Come on camera, focus on me. Better. 2 little holes on the top there, which looks like they would have been used for a ladder. But I've had a look at all the images of these, and I've never seen one with a ladder on it, but I've done it to both of them. So I think it looks quite good. Got a ladder on them both. So give me a minute and we'll be back with the final one. Okay guys, just before I show you the very last one, I just brought this spare body that I've got here. If I could just get that and show you, you can see there where the 2 holes are, what I was referring to. As if they planned to put a ladder on it but never did. So yeah, that's just a spare body, which is in great condition as well. That's all I've got left from 3 that I bought, which I showed you that I made up 2 good ones from. Right, okay, last bit then. Right, here we go then. R566. That's the satellite launch car. Again, superb condition. Everything is there. What else can I say? Apart from I know you're going to want to see it fly again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it back gently, because I've got 2 of these as well. Up there. Okay, and that is simply the same reason. I think I bought 4 of these. I certainly paid less money for 4 with parts missing than I would have done for 1 mint one, and after that I've got 2 mint ones. So see it fly. Come on, same again then. Let me get my screwdriver on the lever. Right, let me get the camera in focus. Hang on. Right, hopefully it's going to fly. So there we go. No, missed it. Oh, I can't do it, guys. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh. Hang on, can I do it? Oh, I'm going to get my fingers trapped here. Hang on. I can't do this. Hang on. Right, hang on. So I need to hold it while I do it, I think. Right. Here we go. Whoa! Oh, I didn't go very far, that one didn't. No. Oh well, never mind. Maybe the other one might. Hang on. Let's just do the same thing with this one. Well then, fly. Ah! Wow! That was my bloody finger. Ah! Oh, man, that hurt. Ah! Oh, that's got my finger. Oh, that hurt. Yeah, and it's flown over to the side of the layout somewhere. Ouch, that really hurt. Oh well, never mind, that's it. Alright then, so we'll call it a day now. That's everything. I'm just going to put the last bits back together. I fancy a nice hot ground coffee. I'll go and do that, and then I'll get everything running for you. So see you in a few seconds. Oh, and as always, there is something I forgot. Yeah, right, the satellite launch set, obviously being the little loco there, and the radar car, and the satellite launch car. Now that was only the 3 items in the set. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but when I showed you the underneath of the radar car here, and you saw the drive belt, it actually takes quite a lot of pull to be able to do that. There's a lot of drag on the radar car, and the wheels are serrated to help them grip to the track, which is obviously very good. It does work. But the loco, which doesn't have magnesium, and there's no rubber tyres or anything on it, it just manages to pull the one radar car and the satellite wagon, although I have changed all the wheels on the satellite wagon for the metal ones again on both of those. But when I added the second satellite car on, the radar car there, the loco wouldn't pull it because there's that much drag on just those 2 items. The loco wouldn't pull it. I'm scratching my head thinking how I can get around this, because I didn't want to be beaten, and I wasn't beaten. I'll tell you what I did. I took the loco apart and I've changed the magnet for one of the new Neo Dominion magnets, and they're so damn powerful, and it's so powerful that it's turned the whole of the chassis of the locomotive into a magnet, and we're on steel track, and it's like hell. That is really gripping the track, and problem solved. It pulled the lot without a problem. So there you go. Go around with it. Yep, it wouldn't do it. It could not pull 2 of those radar cars. It's absolutely fine there. So that was a bit of a guess idea, putting a magnet in, and it worked fine. It's made the whole of the locomotive become a magnet. So I shall bear that in mind for future reference if I ever need to do some sort of thing again. But bear in mind, it will only work on the old steel track, not the new nickel track. So okay, I'm going for a coffee. Won't be long. Bye. Alright everyone, well, you've seen every single part of the Battlespace series now, and you're going to see it all running for the first time ever on YouTube. In fact, I would be very surprised if you could find a video anywhere in the world featuring the whole set all together. So less of the talk, let's just go for it. Come on. Go up first on the turbo car there, and I'll come round again. Oh. Satellite set coming up. In a little while I should put the light out as well. See it all happening. See the LED flashing on that one, and also on that one. And at that speed normally with 12 volt bulbs you'd barely see them. Okay, that's it. The long set. Okay guys, let's get the Jinties going. Come on girls. Oh, tiny flutter wheels, tin. Just a little bit while we get going. We'll figure it, that'll be fine. Yep. We'll keep it at a steady speed. All around this time. Yep, right. Down here. It's a good steady speed. Yep, wicked. Let's get some angled stuff. Pretty cool. I can feel the wind blowing off the fan off the turbo car. Great stuff. It's a nice long set guys, I'll tell you that. You see his head go down then? We'll get him again in a minute anyway. Yep. Go. Right, let's get the sniper for you. Come on. Right, here we go. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Let's give you a bit of an aerial shot. So we get it here. Yeah. Something like going off. Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, I don't think anybody else has done this. I really think this is going to be a first. Now, there is something worth mentioning to you while just getting a few more angles for you. There are 3 more Battlespace items. One's called the Orange John Rocket, which is pretty much like that rocket there that's just gone by, but it's a ground-based one. And then there's 2 like missile launch bases. They're like grass mounds with the tank gun, the twin tank gun in one, and in the other we've got the 4 rocket launcher. They're all stationary items. I'm not particularly interested in collecting them. They're not particularly good, so I'm not bothered about that. Hey, brilliant. Come on. Oh, look at that with the yellow beam. Let me get it to put the light out. You see it all in the darkness now. There we go. There's the yellow beam. Cool. There's the flashing radar. Here comes the searchlight. That's brilliant. Superb. Well, there you go guys, I think that's about it. You've seen everything. And like I say, I don't think anybody's ever done this. I think I've got to be a first on this one. Alright everybody, well I think that's it now. Let's get the light back on. And yeah, I'm not going to stop and everything, I'll just fade it. Let's try and get a fade out view from here, say. Yep. Now, originally I did say it was going to be about a week for me to do this, and it's actually taken 2 weeks. But I'm not surprised because I do go along and change all the wheels and everything as I'm putting these sets up to show you. I always make sure everything is done and service when it's done, so that's taking me a bit longer than I thought. But the next one, again, I mean this is obviously very different, but the next one again is going to be something even more different again. I've got tons more ideas, so once more, take good care of yourselves. Bye everybody, bye bye bye.